Hey guys, welcome back to today's stream. Let's see what we've missed. Alright, so let me do this. Let's have a look. So we've got this nice big PPI. I think it's PPI today, yeah. I'm just gonna mark out these highs. PPI high. PPI high, just so we have it, and then I will PPI low. Alright, so those are the highs and the lows. And now we see price just sitting here in the middle of the range, and we're starting today with that new challenge. Remember yesterday we did the $150,000 to pass the challenge. We did, and now we've got the account. And now all we got to do is do $1,000 a day. So what we've done while we wait for this to do something, we've already started. I've started in the London session. Let's just go back and let's maybe just switch on the execution, and we can see where I took the trade. Alright, here you guys can see I took a short there and immediately broke down, and I closed out just below here, and price fell even further, but that was good enough for me. We secure $1,200, and that's already putting me on track for day one of this challenge. Alright, so but we're also here to see how the PPI setup unfold today. Let's just go through and just see. Go down to 5 minutes. Remember, we still have those NFP highs, and just to show you guys yesterday, in yesterday's trade, we targeted these lows, not this low, yeah, these lows here. We went down and we had these equal highs. We went up, we took those equal highs, we came down all the way, but did not take any lows out. And we managed to hit our first target, and then end of the day, hitting target 2. That was the top side of this big opening gap, and I said when we do this, I'm expecting price to then go and take these NFP highs out. That's what I've got, and that's what I think we can down here. And my main focus is going to be on PPI and not so much on the gotta do it on a 1 minute, not on a 5 minute. Yeah, so we're just going to keep an eye on this. And see how it unfolds. For now, there's nothing to do, guys. For now, we just sit and wait, and most of these times, sometimes when you're lucky, you get these trades to play out fairly quickly before the market even opens. But for now we could see this lower high and maybe a lower low, up, then comes down, and then it would be preferable to take the lows out first and then target these highs, but then we've got a bigger target which is right up here. But that's for if it plays out the way we expect it to play. Alright, so now it's just basically sit and wait, and yeah, nothing to say right now. All I can say for those who join the channel and who's joining my live streams, this is obviously not financial advice at all. This is merely an educational segment on a daily basis where we look at the live markets, we market out. We've got certain strategies that I trade and that we keep track of, and then we journal these things, we learn together, and we see if we can turn people into great traders in 12 months, even before that. And that's why I've done this $150,000 challenge, to see if we can is it possible to do $1,000 a day on that account, and see what you could do in a year from, in 12 months. How can we end this year off with that account? So far the account is up $1,200, and yeah, we don't have to make all the money today. We got 11 more months to worry about. So let's just sit back, relax, and see what we're gonna get. At this point, there's nothing for me to engage in. So for now, I'm just gonna sit on my hands and yeah, just wait and see. Hopefully we got some obviously a good internet today, connection. Yesterday was a bit crazy, but everything seems to be fine and working fine. So one thing that I've seen with this before, just so you guys are informed, I've seen so many times where market do something, come all the way down here just when you think it's going to run it, or and then reverse and go all the way back up and stop people out on that end. So it's best for us now. We've got that low, lower high, lower low. If we go up into this fair value gap, reject to go lower again, that's a nice flow for us to follow. So let's maybe do this. I'm probably expecting it to come into this area, reject, and then take this low out. But again, it's just what I think, and let's see if it actually what it does. Let's just keep a close eye on it. And again, guys, it's nothing to do yet, and I especially don't do anything at this point. We're stuck in that range, and the best way to trade these big bars or big candles is not to do anything within this range. And yeah, this is a good thing for us to just sit tight and wait. Nothing yet happening here. Still price just moving sideways with no real action yet, and let's mark out the 930 because I think that's where we're gonna see the other thing I want to see. I'll draw that line there. I want to see how far we are, you know, what's the gap for today. And so basically what I'm showing you here is price is trading. Let's just do this. This is where price is trading right now. So that's where price is now. That's where we closed yesterday. We open here, we might see this gap closed or get filled. And if we run up high, we might see something coming down first. 50. 80 points, so that's fine. Those gaps are also crucial to keep an eye out for. And the reason you do that because that can give you direction. If you got a clear direction where you want to go and a gap is obviously within that direction, that just make it more, you know, validate it more if the setup is right to go into that direction of that gap. If this spike was at that 50% now above here with this little fair value gap creating like an inverted fair value gap, that would have been a nice scalp to take it down to these lows. Okay, so we're in that fair value area right now. Be nice to see, and here again you can see how this fair value gap, just to mark it out, use it as support to go higher. Now if we add a nice fair value gap up here, so maybe this fair value gap could be the one that turns into a inverted fair value gap. I'll just show you how fair value gaps work. I'm not trading these here. See how you know, obviously you use that middle or that dotted line in the middle as support, and the bodies are well above that, and it's a decent rejection on a 1 minute. And now it would be good to see some movement in here rejecting this dotted line, or stop right on it and then reverse. If it obviously invert this, if you break through here, that's your break even obviously trigger, and then you hold it for liquidity lower. But I'm not trading within the range. I'm just showing you, on a normal trade, that's what I would have done, or what people could have done. And just while we wait, I can show you here. See how the bodies holds, comes back and then break down. The minute it break down, then it moved lower, but then it came back. That's why you don't trade within a range. It moves for short scalps, but it's not going to give you that opportunity you're looking for a good trade. And now we just obviously still just sit and wait, and just wait till the market actually shows its hand. It's already give us an idea or framework to start with that big PPI candle. We marked the highs and the lows, and now we just need price to show us which side it wants to take out first. Wants to take it out first, and then we can obviously target the opposite. In my opinion, it would be great for us to take the PPI low out first. Then we've got more than enough reason and ammo to take out the high. And if it doesn't do that, it goes to the high first. That doesn't mean it's not going to go down and take out the low. It can still do that. So yeah, so let's just see what it does and not try to preempt it. So this is the beauty of this, strategy. You obviously get your foundation, which is the big candle, and then you got to rule. You got to wait for it to break. Now it forces you to be disciplined and to sit on your hands and do nothing. And that's what most traders are struggling with. They're gonna try to, like I said, try to short this here. Go to break even, then get stopped out at break even, then go lower, and they're gonna buy down here because now it's a break in structure, and then it might go up there and boom, stop you out again, and then you're gonna feel like, geez, I don't know which way the market's going, so let's give it up. But if you follow these rules, it's clear as daylight to say, guys, just sit and wait. You don't do anything within the range and wait for price to break out. If you're a breakout trader, that doesn't mean when it breaks out just going to keep running. We want to see some sort of reversal to come back into the range to target the other side. See how price is currently stuck between these two fair value gaps, and this is the 9:30 opening bell, so we'll see what price plan to do when we hit that in the next 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Okay, 1 minute to go. And now what we've seen there is we've seen that, see how the body's respecting that dotted line. Now we might see inversion of this gap to send price lower, and that would be a good start to what we're expecting here, if it plays out. Okay, so let's go back and see what the gap looks like. See, the gap starts there and there, so 50% of this gap is here. So we could expect price to get to this 50%, then go higher, or yeah. Okay, so that's the gap. 50% is that dotted line, and that's what we're seeing there right now, that we aiming to get to that. Okay, so we can see we in that dotted line right now, and again, look at this, we inverted this, we go back to the dotted line, then break down into that. So now the question is, will we go even lower? And it might be a trade that we're going to see the low gets taken out first. Or just a bounce from that. I think we're going to go lower here. Take those, fill this gap completely. And there you see we close, if you look closely, we close above that IVG 50% sending price higher. And then there's this fair value gap that we most probably going to get inverted here. And let's mark it out so you guys can see it. And we'll just make it orange, it's normal. And we've got this in our way, so we need to see this okay. So it looks like we're going to invert this, which is the IFVG. Nice test in it, will give you an entry, but then you've got another fair value gap up here, so we need to break through this one first in order to take the PPI high. And there we can see a small little test, but I'd like to see something even deeper. But then obviously we need something strong to get through it, test, and then target these highs. Alright, so now we've got this inversion here, and we're holding that 50% of this fair value gap. See what it does. I think the momentum is obviously upwards because we've taken this liquidity in this 50% of this gap. We invert this in, this fair value gap. We've got another fair value gap up here. If we go, obviously close above that and give us some sort of retest, is a good scalp to take you know, to target those highs. Actually think I'm gonna give it a try here, but I want to see it move back in again. Let's do it like this. 5, 6 here, and then put a stop loss up there, and see if that's something. Okay, so we're in the trade right now. I mean, we can target a $2,000. Come on. Push, 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 push. Almost there. Come on, baby. Okay, there we go. That's a $2,000 trade, $2,160 trade. The account's up to $3,000. And why did I decide to take that? This, I could easily have put my target at PPI high, but because we've run this liquidity here, and if you really take this low to that high, you'll see red line is your 50%. It would have been nice to take a trade down here, but that was in discount, and then unfortunately this IFG did not make it. It's not lower. It would have been nice if it was lower, and because we inverted that, I was waiting for some momentum. We closed here above the fair value gaps 50%, and we can change this to IFG because we see a nice rejection of that 50%. Close above, so it's bullish. We came back into it. I tried it because it looked like the momentum is pushing up. We see a big pullback into that dotted line and a big rejection. So in my mind, price should not stop here and return lower. We should most definitely go through this PPI high, but I'm out of the trade now. Remember, the target is $1,000 a day. I've looked for 2 easy and high probable trades. I found them, I took them, and it paid me $3,000. So we're ahead of target on this. There's no need for me to press any more buttons. We can see another test into this IFG and 50% of this wick, and we should see price hold and obviously run higher. And if it doesn't, as long as it doesn't close below this IFG, we're good. Then we can see this as a pullback. These highs are fairly equal as well. So that's liquidity, there's liquidity up here, and if we close above this black candle's wick, that is a bullish sign like no other day. But we have to close above this wick. That doesn't mean we won't go higher if we don't. That's just a setup that I look for as well in high probable conditions. So yeah, it didn't close above it, so I wouldn't have taken it, but I do believe we're still going to go into that high. And one thing to just keep in mind on these fair value gaps on the 50%, I mean, see how perfect this wick down, wick into that 50% of that IFG, and now pushing up into that PPI high. So if you follow trades like this, these are good scalping trades. If you're fairly close to liquidity and you want to make $1,000, and yeah, then it's worth taking those. Keep your risks small and quick profits in and out. Okay, that's just moving into that black candle, and it should hold price to go higher. See how that blank candle stopped right on that 50% again, and so there's obviously some liquidity down there where it worked that level to go higher. And again, those the highs that we would target if we break through this. I mean, I've got this as the NFP high that we've never taken, and we might go all the way through here, all the way up there, and come back on a later stage to this PPI low. But like I said earlier, it would have been nice to see the PPI low get taken first, and then you've got some good context to go higher, even beyond the PPI high. And now it's just consolidating. And now we can see a spike below all these lows to reject and then go higher. Or it could even spike through all these lows into this one and reject, close above that 50%, and then go higher. close, and now you can see we right here at the fair value gap, and we haven't taken the PPI high out yet, so there's no trade from a red folder strategy yet. I mean, I was just looking at these fair value gaps and inverted fair value gaps, and as you can see, it respected it, then it disrespected it, and now it's closing, and I think it might even drop down further first, but and that's why it's not advisable to trade within the range, and it's always best to wait and see for a clear guidance. Guys, I'm going to take this off, and this is the first fair value gap, presented fair value gap after 9:30, and this could be the inverted fair value gap to send price lower. And we are in the macro time zone, which is 9:50 to 10:10, and normally between this at 9:50 and 10:10, you see liquidity gets run, and that liquidity could well be this PPI low now. And see how that 50% of the inverted fair value gap gets rejected there, and that could be the sign to drive price lower. The only thing is this black candle body stay within that range. Same with this white candle now. The low's right on the line there, and we need to see some sort of close lower, but that body closed below the 50%. Let's see if we can get a close below this white candle. It's low. Right, so there we go. Okay, that's might be a good trade, coming up to retest this. Looks like a lot of momentum to the downside. Okay, there we go. Look for a nice test at this 50%. See if we get it. And then try to squeeze out the $1,000 there. Taking that trade off. Didn't take a trade there. Obviously I'm targeting this low for a scalp, but I mean, there's a little gap up here as well. I'm just worried that it break through this fair value gap and try to test this one up here, and then it's just gonna put unnecessary drawdown in my account. And for those of you watching, the one thing that we do, we qualified or we passed the $150,000 challenge yesterday, and now we on the funding part, and the aim is to do $1,000 a day. And we've taken 2 trades today so far. We're on $3,300, and yeah, I don't want to waste the opportunity. So if we've left that trade on, as you can see, it would have fooled me and it would have hit my take profit immediately, which was another $1,000, but I didn't take it because I wasn't sure if we're gonna want to come up here. But if this, no, it's not gonna happen. I was gonna say if this black candle closes below this white candle's low, I would probably look at another scalp short, and we didn't get it, so there's no trade there. And the reason I was planning to take this trade is you can see this lower low taking those lows out, that high taking all these highs out. This is some sort of a breaker to me, and there's a fair value gap lining in, so you would expect price to go in there and then drop. Okay, looks like momentum's coming through now, and 10 o'clock, it's in 2 minutes, so we could see. I'm actually going to try this trade and let's just see if it actually does anything. See if it want to retest that white candle up there, and then what we want to do is just take $1,000 profit. Maybe it will just drop from here, but that's fine, guys. These are only scalp trades that I'm looking for now while I'm waiting for this PPI red for the strategy to unfold. Okay. Obviously that looks like a runner to the downside. amazing how this trade actually, at one stage we thought it's going up to the PPI high, and I even said I would have preferred it to go lower first, and then it turned around, and it looks like it's gonna give me that PPI low first. And the reason now I'm looking to take a trade below the PPI low is because we've got NFP high up here still that hasn't been tapped. So then I can expect some sort of a higher and bigger run up to hopefully to that level. But nothing's in cast in stone here, so it's trading. So we'll just have to see, wait and see if it's actually going to do that. Let's just wait and see. Here's another fair value gap. If you want to see price spike in there to go lower, let's see if that's something we could get. I'm looking for this fair value gap to hold price, if it's going to pick me up, and then see some sort of pullback to secure some profits. So what I'm going to do is, if it goes too far or close above that, I'm just going to collapse the trade. Look at this trade, it looks like a, in this white candle here, some sort of a pullback. But again, okay, so I've closed that trade, and the reason being is we close outside of this. So we take a loss, we're still up $1,700, and I want to see if there's any equal lows. Sure, this is most probably going to come down from there and create nice equal highs here. Still think this is just some sort of a pullback, and we might see price invert this little gap here to then go lower, or it will just run up the page. But I do think we might see this low get taken first. But that's just my opinion. The market's got its own opinion, so got to do what the market, got to trade in line with the market, not what you think, because the market's just there to take your money. So you need to be careful and cut your losses quicker than, instead of sitting around waiting for it to turn because you think it should turn. It doesn't have to turn. I mean, if I didn't close my trade here, I would have sat through all of that. That would have been easy. All my profit gone. I'll be in red now. And then you're going to end up trading just to break even. And that's probably the worst place to be, is try to trade or sit to trade and try to break even. You want to trade and keep profit. And if something doesn't go your way, just cut your loss. And I thought this was a pretty good trade to take it down to this low at least. And not even my take profit was at this 50% of these wicks, and not even the bottom of it. If we see some rejection here now, then it was only running these equal highs, and if we then invert this, I would take another short to those PPI lows. But if it keeps going higher, might want to remember when we inverted this, we never tested this inverted fair value gap. So this could be the opportunity to get in a short up here and then try to trade it down. That is if you trade outside of the strategy. Strategy is not to take or touch anything within this range and wait for price to break either the high or the low. Okay, we're back in the middle of that range, and I hope we get some sort of setup before we move away. So basically we outside the we're getting to the end of the the macro time period. We 8 minutes past 10, 2 more minutes, and yeah, I don't know what to tell you. If I thought we would have run one of these sides by now, and maybe the market's got some other plans for us here. Basically what I did was this opening gap, first tested this 50%, runs up, stop, and fill the full gap as you can see, and stop. So now the gap's filled. Now we can move into a direction. But which direction? Not the best price action for this. Okay, so we've got some news tomorrow and Thursday, I think. Yes. So there's going to be other opportunities. There's no need to to worry. Say you're not going to get a trade or try to just take a trade because it seems like we're running out of time. If there's no trade, then we're just basically simply not going to take a trade. So far this year for our strategy, red folder strategy, we only had one trade. It was a winning trade. All the other trades did not give clear signals and or entries or setups, and we stayed out of it, and we wouldn't have made money anyways. So it's best just to sit on your hands. I mean, you guys seen the NFP high still available. We haven't even gone there, but yeah, now we just have to sit and wait and see what's presenting on today's strategy or today's red folder news candle. Okay, now we can see some rejection on this inverted fair value gaps, 50%. If I make this bigger, you can see we broke through it, close above it, rejected, and now we could see I don't know, price wants to go to the high. Now it looks like there's a lot of momentum to the top side, and I don't know if we're going to see a test into this IFG. We might see a test, you know, at this level to go to these highs. Okay, so now we've got a nice fair value gap here. Okay, so we could see this test in this 50% range of this fair value gap. Or we can see nothing and just boom, shoot to the moon. Oh, there we go. This is what's happening there. Whew. Jeepers, imagine I kept my trade. I didn't use a stop loss down here. Challenge should be done and dusted. But for now, we're still up $1,700, which is great. Target's $1,000. If we can close the day with 1,700, that's great, because it's giving us that leeway for tomorrow. And I'm not going to chase anything just to make lost profits back. See, now we create a fair value gap, we close it below it. This is holding price so far, the bodies, and yeah, I don't know, because within this black candle there's another fair value gap. So if it's an inverted fair value gap like that, I'm actually going to try to buy some, but then I need to see a test. If it's going to give me anything. She goes leaving me behind. So maybe we're lucky to get some sort of a test. Yeah. That was a good trade to buy from. See if we get this trade. See if we can get picked up and make some money. Just missed it. Oh gosh. Come on. Show me a test. Pick me up, take me to the moon. Would have been nice. Okay. Alright, again, let's see if we can take this trade up from here and not turn on me. Can you believe it? Okay. Go the other side, to the top side. Oh my word. Come on. You want to go higher. I mean, you're coming from a fair value gap, you inverted this, you go higher. Come and test this fair value gap here. Now you must go take profit. Oh boy. It refused to move. Insane stuff. You gotta be kidding me. Whoa. Alright guys, I'm out of that trade because that does not look right. So we're down $1,000. So much. And you're going to see, because we took these lows, might want to bounce from here. Okay, so price was not holding over here. I don't know if this is going to hold price. Okay, so how many trades did we take? So we took 4 trades and we down 1,000. What a shame. Right, well that's trading for you. Well, our red folder strategy hasn't played out yet. We still got these highs and lows that's up for grabs, which we still need to take out. So let's just see. This is a prime example why you should not trade within the range. Because see what price does. It just confuses you and you lose money. I promise you guys, when we go outside of this range, it's going to give us a very clear entry. And we're going to make money. And we're going to sit here and say we could have been up $10,000. And we actually just gave away all the money. Okay, so obviously I don't like this fair value gap anymore. I don't like that. This fair value gap here, that's the key one yet. That's the first one that formed after 9:30. We broke lower, we never test. I thought this was going to be the test. We ran higher, we're inverting again. Who knows where we're going to go now? Back into the range, in the middle of the range, and well, we're really just going sideways, whipsawing people out. And I hate to say it, but I was one of those guys But you'll see, you just got to stick to the process, whether it's scalping, whether it's the red folder strategy, or whatever your strategy is. You got to stick to it and know it's going to work out at some point. I mean, you get your days where it's bad, so I've obviously finished in red, and I'm gonna have to, I don't think I'm going to take any trades now, because now it's going to feel like I want to chase something that's not there. And looking at the market, we can clearly see it's just going sideways here. And I mean, you really look at it, we took those highs out, we took these lows out, we went up, and then we back down again. So now we're stuck in this range, and it's basically just killing people both sides. So hopefully we get a nice setup below this, because then we know the big move is coming, and the big move is going to go up to this NFP high. And that was my 2 cents of wisdom around trading. But I mean, the bottom line is you're just gonna have to sit and wait and see. And the thing is, you also gotta be able to identify the times when it's good to sit on the sides. I mean, I said to you guys right in the beginning of this video, within the range is not a place to trade. What did I do? I took some trades, and now I'm just a clear example why you shouldn't be trading within the range. And I'm not going to take a trade now, and I'm just going to see what price does. And I just want to see what time is it now. It's 10:30. I think this thing might only play out in the PM session if we carry on like this, or maybe the PM session takes one of these sides out, and then around about that 1 o'clock reversal we'll see to go to the other side. So starting today, okay, this was today, we started off here, we're going up, we're going sideways, up, down, boom. So pretty much we've been sideways today, and that, my friends, is the setup for the bigger move. Now we need to find that bigger move and be on the right side of that move. That's the ultimate from this now. Guys, this was a good trade actually. When we saw this fair value gap, this is hindsight, and close the trade. Should have taken the trade to go to the top side. I mean, this would have given you a good return. Alright. Push. So I don't have to rectify that negative $1,000 today. I think if you were funded on a 150, I think the maximum you can lose is $4,500. Then you're out of the challenge. Then you have to start from scratch. And I'm down 1,000, which I'm gonna leave because obviously I fell in this trap and I don't know if we're going to keep doing this. Now I need to wait. I literally need to wait for something that sets up with proper equal highs or equal lows. It runs liquidity, forms a nice inverted fair value gap. Wait for that test, take it and see if we can get like a 3 or 4 to 1 trade and put us back into the money. And guys, it's normal to take losses. Trading is not going to be, I'm not going to stream and trade profitable every single day. As long as you maintain and keep your losses contained, you can end this year with a good balance. So I'm gonna hop to a 5 minute quickly. See what the 5 minutes say. I think we're going to that lows. Okay, so let's move our focus to this low now. Let's say there's no equal lows here, so there's nothing. I mean, we could target this low, but I mean, this lines up. I'll just target for this PPI low. So there's no other liquidity that I can see that's close to this PPI low that I can extend this to or look for potential reversal. One thing I've learned with trading is, when you hit a home run or get a nice trade, it plays out quickly, top of the world, trade played out, you made some money. You should feel the same way if you've taken a loss and the market went jeepers so far against you, but you managed to cut your loss right here or right here. And although I'm down, that doesn't mean I'm out. I mean, any sport have some bad moves, right? But the game's not over till the game's over. And my game only ends by the end of this year, so. And that's how you should think when you trade these accounts. Okay, so this is actually, if it waited for me, a nice short. And that's because of this outside bar, took out and closed below this white candle slow, and that's immediate scalp. And it normally returns to that wick. To show you, I'm going to place a trade there and see if I live up to, if it's going to. Okay, now you must drop, baby. Just go down. Let's get this in motion if I needed to close this trade. Come on, just push it. Push, push, push. You can do it. Oh, come on, man. Why make me suffer? Okay. Right, so that scalp, and I'll show you that scalping now, puts me back $1,000 for the day. So now I'm in line with the day. I'm just want to zoom in here quickly to explain this to you guys. Whenever you see liquidity at a certain level, and in this case I'm targeting the lows, and you see a candle forms, let me just take this cursor off and make it arrow. When you see a candle forms like this white candle, we're going lower, and you see the next candle wick through the high but close below the low, that's a nice outside bar. Some people call it engulfing and what have you. It's an outside bar for me, and this wick is your entry zone. Basically it's from here to there, and that's my entry zone. You could have put your entry at a 50%. I've taken it here, and then you can target, you know, a scalping target. And in this case I took a $2,000 target for this. Pick me up, money in the bag. I mean, you just need to find one of these, and you'll make money. Let's see if we can find another one. This one was almost, but it didn't close below it. Then I would have taken it. I mean, here's one, but the reason I didn't take this, it's within a, you know, fair value gap, and I needed to see this fair value gap fully inverted to test it, but then I'll wait for a test up here. It didn't give me that, that's why I didn't take the trade. Okay, here's another one, and we've taken out this high, and we closed below, and we went right into this wick. That's where your entry is, and then boom, see a nice drop. And you'll see if I go back, we getting a nice, you know, move from that now. And yeah, that's a good strategy for you to trade on. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to run it low. Right. Let's see. There we go. Okay, now the focus moves almost to the right, so now we at the PPI low, and now we're going to start marking out fair value gaps. Okay, so let's took 5 trades, 2 losers and 3 winners. Okay, let's see what we get. We inverted this fair value gap, and I would like to see some sort of reaction before we come back down. Okay, so that's it. I end up bringing the account back to $2,800. We took 6 trades, we took 4 winners and 2 losers, unfortunately, and that was just because we traded with inside the range. We currently had a inverted fair value gap over here, and be interesting to see if this is going to be the fair value gap that's going to send us to this PPI high. And the reason, I mean, it's very shallow low, but okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll leave it like that. And the reason why I'm a bit sketchy about this, not knowing if we want to go lower again, we might want to push, and it all depends on what this fair value gap or inverted fair value gap does. If it's going to hold price to go higher, or is it going to break to send price lower again. And then I would look, and now we've got 1, 2, 3. We could see this low get target again, but we'll just have to sit and wait and see. All right, so what I'm going to do, let's just see. Okay, so let's see what it does now, because now it's in that inverted fair value gap. Let's just make it orange. It all depends on what it does here now. Bum, bum, bum. So normally what happens, you'll see price go and take the first liquidity out, and then come take it again. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this low out again, and then we'll look for a new inverted fair value gap, right? And the key thing about this is when you see a fair value gap runs a low, and you see that pin form outside, and you see that immediate retrace back and invert, that's a solid A+ setup. And normally if it gets inverted within 5 or 6 candles, that's good. In this case it was 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. Yeah, so now it's just a matter of see if we want to go lower below this PPI and run that low again, creating a new fair value gap to get inverted and maybe get a better setup. Or maybe we just bounce from here and we run higher, and this is what would maybe trigger me to take a long, as if we invert this. And why would I take that one? Because I'm now trading off this fair value gap, and okay, so now I'm bouncing from a fair value gap, but I need to invert, otherwise this becomes another inversion to go lower. And I think that's what we're going to see here. We're going to see this candles go and run this low first. My cutoff for trading, these things are normally 11 o'clock, so I'm soon going to end the stream, and I'm not going to sit through it. I will come back in the PM session to see how it all played out, and if it played out nicely, obviously I'll make a video to explain that. Just bear in mind we're still in the early weeks of in January. Normally the best time to get going with this trading these strategies is normally just to wait until the beginning of Feb. Okay, and so there we can see our price is starting to you know, going for that low. Okay, so now we've gone through that low, and I'm going to take this off because now got this here. So if we invert this one, I might look for, nope, not yet. And guys, we did not invert this, and that's why we haven't taken any trades yet. Okay, so now the thing is with this, we created this fair value gap 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if we get that. Oh, it was close. It was close. It's not an IFG yet. It was so close. We haven't closed outside of it yet. We have not. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, so okay, not yet. Let's give it some time. Okay, so now we're getting steam, and maybe we go here. See if we can get picked up. and see if we can take this thing. Ooh. Okay, now it's the moment of truth. Should maybe move it just below that. Leave it there. Obviously this is a failed trade because it didn't test and leave a wick. It broke through it, and that would never have worked. I mean, it's like this over here. You break it, you come and test it, you test it again, and you wait for that close. And then you get a little bit of drawdown, and then it goes your way. In this case, it went back, it came back, boom, close on the other side. Tells you we're going for a new low. And that's what you do with the strategy. You keep, and then you have to take this out, and then you have to mark this out, because this now is your new gap, and that's your new low. So you want to see boom, boom. I actually do think this thing is going to run lower and not set up right now. So if I look at my other technicals, it looks like there's a lot of momentum to the downside. I don't think it's going to turn here. I think it's going to go sideways and then push down again. Okay, so we are below these lows now. So we need to see nothing yet. Momentum is down. It's going to take a lot to change direction now. Alright, so that's 2 minutes, and then I'm going to stop the stream, and the reason being is this is past my time. I do think we're going to move further down before we can get a proper setup. I'll check in the PM session to see where we are, and I'll do a recap video on that. Alright, take care guys, and I'll see you guys a bit later. Yeah, I'll check in the PM session to see where we are. I don't think this is gonna get inverted right now for the entry to the top side. There's a lot of momentum still down, so I think we're either going to go down and screw around here and maybe create more liquidity to go down again, and then give us that ultimate entry, and that's most probably only going to happen around lunchtime, or just after lunch. So but it's always good to keep an eye. I'm not going to sit till then to wait for this to play out. I'll come back later, and yeah, I'll inform you guys. I'll post some snippets as we go, and you can take a look at that. but for now just keep an eye on it. Don't try to jump in too quickly. As you can see, yeah, we're just gonna push lower, and I don't think the setup's gonna be there right now. Alright, I'll chat to you guys later. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Take care. Bye bye.